Alright guys, we are back with another one. And today we're going to be doing the great late Biz Markie. He passed away July 16th due to diabetic complications. That's what they say. He's 57 years old, and that really hits home because myself was diagnosed back in 2018 with diabetes, and you know, it was a struggle. Very hard, you know what I mean? At the beginning I had to take insulin, all these things, and it's so hard to manage until you have a reason to manage it, and you feel, you know, you find something that really push you and drive you. What drove me is my kids, my daughters. I want to be here for them. I want to be here for them when they graduate. I want to be here when they get married. Be here if I have grandkids in the future. I want to be a part of their life. So it took a lot of change, and you know, a lot of people say, you know, diabetes is diabetes. Well, mine, I probably had it for a long time. It's one of those things where, you know, mine started off with sleep apnea. The less sleep you get, you eat more, you drink more sugary things to get energy. So if you're feeling like you're any of these symptoms, you're sleeping more or falling asleep during the day, taking naps, go get checked, get a sleep study. See if you have sleep apnea, because you'll have all these apneas and it leads to other problems like heart disease, it leads to diabetes, it leads to so many different things, a chain reaction. So what I'm telling y'all today is go get checked. But I want to happily announce that it's been a year after I was diagnosed. I was taking insulin and everything for a good year. I lost a lot of weight. I walked. I even went vegan for about 9 months. The doctor, he took me off everything, off insulin, off all that stuff. Now, instead of being a high diabetic, I'm low. I'm always low, so I got to keep some peppermint in my pocket. But go get checked. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and start this canvas off with a coat of Rustoleum gloss white. We're going to start at the bottom. Make sure your paint all shook up very well and work our way all the way up to the top. By the way, this is a 14 by 14 canvas. I want to see how it works in the pro. 14 by 14, so we're going to go all the way up, overlapping coat. And then we're going to come all the way down. I be getting questions all the time like, how do you get the, you know, lines and stuff out, or the texture? Just put heavy paint. If you still see lines, just because I do a couple of heavy, come back and do another one. Some canvas are rough. You might have to put a couple of coats. So don't be afraid to go back and hit that base coat many times as you possibly need to. The more paint, the smoother, the easier. Like this one, I'm gonna just, right there. That's it. So we're gonna let that dry. The more paint, it's easier to engrave. The more detail will show. You're protecting your canvas by not letting it burn down through the canvas. You'll get brown spots. So paint is very important. I really don't know much about other paints, but Rustoleum has been a winner for me. Not saying that other ones don't work. It just, I have got the best results with Rustoleum. I don't try Krylon a little bit here and there, but I really like Rustoleum, so that's what I push 100%. Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna let this dry, and we're gonna come back and hit it with a coat of Rustoleum gloss black. All right, guys, we're back, and it's been about 2.5 hours. We're starting to lose light here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put on our coat of Rustoleum gloss black. I'm gonna start at the bottom and work our way all the way up to the top, overlapping coat. Make sure your paint shook up very well. Just a nice even coat. Nice even overlapping coat all the way up the canvas. There we go. That's a nice even coat all the way up. We're gonna load our image into GIMP, and we're gonna get ready to start this amazing burn. Y'all stick around. All right, guys, this is the image that we're gonna be doing today of Biz Markie. So it's a few things I want to teach you that I learned recently myself. So when you bring an image in, you see how long this image is. It's long and not as tall as it is long. Make sure you scale your image. we're doing this image right here on a 14 by 14. I never really use 14 by 14. I normally use 11 by 14, and I believe 11 by 14 would have been a great pick for this image. But since I already done prepped the 14 by 14, it's gonna have to do. So you'll go to image, you'll go down to scale image, change over here to inches. So if you look, width and height is already like 3 and 1, 3.227 and 1.797. So I'm trying to change that. So I will unlock it, and it all depends on your picture. It would be much easier if it was a vector file. Then you can change the size, and the image quality will not be affected. But I haven't figured out how to vector an image easily. So if you out there and you know how to vector an image easy and don't have to go through 3,000 steps to do it, let me know. Shoot me an email. Let me know how you do it. So here I'm gonna just change this. Since we're going 14 by 14, I'm gonna put 14 at the top, 14 at the bottom. The picture is gonna look a little different because I'm changing it, but overall you're gonna still get the same concept. That's why I should have went with 11 by 14. And it would have been, it would have made the picture look better in my opinion. But it's gonna be an amazing burn regardless. So we're gonna go ahead and hit scale. It's gonna tell you it's too big and all that crap. Just hit scale. Boom. Control mouse wheel. So that's how it looks. That's how the image turns out after you scale it. So I've scaled it now to 14 inches by 14 inches. So this is how it's gonna look. So we're gonna go ahead and run the big input plug-in on it. We're gonna be using, make sure tile is selected, DPI 304. Max image height, we're gonna do 360. Max width is gonna be 360 also. So we're gonna hit OK. Boom. All right, we're gonna go to File. We're going to go to Export As. I'm gonna call it Biz M. And we're gonna go to download. No, we're gonna go to desktop. Yep, photos. And this is where we're gonna save it at. Make sure your quality is at 100%. Now I'm gonna show you what scaling versus not scaling your image does once you load it into Lightburn. So y'all stick around. All right, guys. So we loaded our image into Lightburn. This is the image that we scaled in GIMP, and we ran the big GIMP plug-in on it. We scaled it to 14 by 14, which that is what our canvas is. And we're gonna preview it real quick. Before we change anything, we're gonna go to preview. Just loaded it in. I'm gonna go ahead and maximize the preview. All right, so we're gonna hit invert to see what it will look like once we burn it. So we're gonna hit invert, boom. And look at that. That looks good. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. It came out good, you know what I mean? Zoom in on it a little bit if you want to. Start seeing the dots a little bit. Still looks good, looks real good. All right, we're gonna hit OK. So I got down here, without scaling the image, it don't matter if you run a big GIMP plugin on it or not, which I already have, this image was not scaled. And if you look at it, it says height of 200, width of 359. So if a lot of people, they say, I have lines in my canvas, I have lines, and honestly, I couldn't figure it out myself. I was like, it has to be with editing, it has to be with editing. And I just did a lot of digging, and it is with editing. I didn't scale this image. The only thing I did was ran the big GIMP on it and changed the size what I wanted it to be. But now you load it into Lightburn and you're like, no, that's not the right height. So you automatically go up here and you change it. No, we need 359. So you change it. Now it's a 14 by 14 roughly. But watch your preview. So we loaded it in without scaling it. Now watch your preview. Make it big for you. Now I'm gonna hit the invert button and look at those lines. You see lines always, diagonal lines going through it. Diagonal lines, diagonal lines, diagonal lines. Turn the invert off, you can see it better here. Diagonal lines. Okay. because it was not scaled. We're gonna hit OK, and we're gonna go back over here to height, and we're gonna change it back to 200. What it was loaded in as. Now we're gonna hit preview. The image is being stretched so bad, we're gonna make it big. That's it at the original how it was loaded in without being scaled. Now we're gonna hit invert to see how it looks. It looks the same, no lines in it, it looks good. But once you change that height, you're now stretching the image, causing it to have those lines in it. So I'll change it again just so you can see it for yourself. Try it for yourself. You will see that if you scale the image, you will not get those lines. That is the biggest problem, and I hope it helps a lot of people, because that is the issue. We're gonna hit invert, and you see the lines plain as day. Picture still look good, but it got lines in it, and they are noticeable. So make sure you scale your image. All right, guys. So we're back to the image that we did scale. Now for the canvas, we are gonna have to change it to around 353 and 353. That's so it can be good around the canvas. That's gonna be our measurements for this 14 by 14. We're gonna go to cuts and layers, and we're gonna be running 6,000 speed, 67.5 power, and that's it. Pass through is gonna be on. Hit OK, we're gonna hit a preview. This burn is gonna take 4 hours and 18 minutes. But you see the scale one, it looks good. Invert it. And it's gonna look good. It's gonna be an amazing burn. Y'all stick around, I'm gonna get everything set up. Then we're gonna start this amazing burn. Alright guys, we are back and our canvas is dry. Before we start this amazing burn, I wanna send a shout out to everybody who watch my videos. Subscribe to my channel, like and share, and comment on my content. I appreciate you 100%. We just passed 3,300 subscribers. We're on the way to 10,000 subscribers, and we will get there. If you want to join the Ortur family, check out my description section. I have some links for the Pro. The Pro is where it at. It gives you better quality, faster burns, take the guesswork away, no guessing. It's just overall an amazing machine. With that being said, we're gonna hit shift and frame. Make sure we got everything lined up. And it is looking good. Okay. Okay. Alright, y'all stay tuned for this amazing burn. Biz Markie. Y'all stick around. It's gonna be an amazing burn. I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing.